Your hand is already reaching for it. Right now. Even reading this, some quiet part of you wants to flip to another screen just to check. You don't know what you're checking for, but the pull is real, and the real answer to where it comes from is far stranger than a tech company designing an app. You think your phone broke your attention? It didn't. Your phone simply found a door that was already open. A door that was carved into your mind across tens of thousands of years, long before electricity, long before language as you know it, long before anyone had ever heard the word distraction. To understand why you can't stop checking, you have to stop looking at the screen and start looking at the savanna. Picture an ancestor of yours, 40,000 years ago. She is sitting at the edge of a firelit clearing. The work of the day is done, and her brain is doing the single most important thing a human brain can do. It is scanning a rustle in the grass, a shift in the wind, a sound that wasn't there a moment ago. Her survival did not depend on focus. It depended on interruption, the ability to drop everything instantly and turn toward new information. That woman is the reason you exist. The ones who could not be interrupted, the ones who stayed locked onto one task while the world changed around them, did not pass their genes forward. They were the ones who didn't see the predator. So your brain was not built to concentrate. Your brain was built to monitor, to sip attention in small, restless tastes, always leaving room for the next surprise. And here is the part that should stop you cold. That ancient scanning machine is still running. It never turned off. It is running right now, behind your eyes, waiting for something new to appear. So what makes new feel so good? The answer lives in a single chemical, and almost everyone misunderstands it. Dopamine. You've probably heard it called the pleasure chemical. That's wrong. The neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz spent decades studying what actually triggers dopamine in the brain, and what he found rewrote the textbooks. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get a reward. It spikes when you might get one. It is not the chemistry of pleasure. It is the chemistry of anticipation. The lean forward. The maybe. Let that settle. Your brain rewards the seeking, not the finding. The hunt, not the meal. To an animal foraging for food, this is perfect design. It keeps you moving, searching, turning over the next rock, because the next rock might hold something. The seeking itself feels good, so you keep seeking. Your ancestors who enjoyed the search survived the lean seasons, and you inherited their restless, hungry, forward-leaning brain. Now look at what you're holding. A phone is a rock you can turn over 1,000 times an hour. Every time you pull it down, you are foraging. You don't know what's behind the notification. Maybe nothing. Maybe a message that changes your whole day. That uncertainty, that maybe, is not a flaw in the design. It is the entire engine. The psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered something about this kind of uncertainty almost a century ago, and what he found explains your thumb better than you'd like. Skinner put animals in boxes with levers. When a lever gave food every single time, the animal pressed it calmly only when hungry. Predictable, boring. But when he made the reward random, when pressing the lever paid off sometimes, unpredictably, with no pattern at all, something changed. The animals pressed compulsively, again and again and again, far past hunger, unable to stop. He called it a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. You know it by a different name. It's the mechanism inside every slot machine on Earth. And it is the mechanism inside the pull to refresh gesture on your screen. You are the animal. The feed is the lever. And the reward is random by design. But it goes deeper than chemistry. Because your scanning brain isn't just hunting for food or threats. It's hunting for one specific thing above all others. Other people. You are a primate, and primates survive through the group. For your ancestors, knowing what the tribe was doing was not gossip. It was life and death. Who is angry at whom? Who shared meat and who didn't? Who is rising in status and who is falling? Who might help you and who might leave you to die outside the circle of the fire? The anthropologist Robin Dunbar argued that human language itself may have evolved largely for this. A kind of social grooming, a way to track the web of relationships that kept you alive. Your brain treats social information as urgent Because for almost all of human history, it was. So when a notification says someone mentioned you, your nervous system does not register a ping from an app. It registers a moment at the edge of the tribe. Someone is talking about you. Your status might be shifting right now, and you cannot see it, and not knowing is unbearable. That flush of urgency you feel? That's not weakness. That's a 40,000-year-old survival instinct firing at a glowing rectangle that has learned exactly how to trip it. Do you see the trap closing? 3 ancient systems, all firing at once. A brain built to be interrupted. A reward chemical built to chase the maybe. A social radar built to never lose track of the tribe. None of these were mistakes. Every one of them kept your ancestors alive. And every one of them has been reverse engineered, studied, measured, and aimed back at you by people whose job is to hold your attention for one more second. The researcher Adam Alter has written about how the most used apps are deliberately engineered around these exact instincts. The infinite scroll that never gives you a stopping cue, because a stopping cue would let your ancient brain finally rest. The red badge, colored like a warning, like blood, like danger, impossible to ignore. The pull to refresh that mimics the slot machine lever. The typing dots that keep you leaning forward into the maybe. These aren't accidents, they are ancient locks, and someone found the keys. And yet, here is the twist you might not expect. The problem is not really the phone. The problem is the mismatch. Every instinct pulling at your thumb was an answer to a world that no longer exists. In that old world, new information was rare and precious. A rustle in the grass happened a few times a day, and each time it mattered. Scanning the horizon cost you almost nothing, because the horizon was usually empty. Your alertness was calibrated for scarcity, for a world where novelty was the exception. Now you hold a device that manufactures novelty without end, an infinite grass, rustling forever, a horizon that is never, ever empty. Your scanning brain, built for a quiet world, has been dropped into a world engineered to never stop giving it something to scan. You are not broken. You are a perfectly tuned instrument playing in the wrong room. A deer's flinch reflex is flawless until you put the deer beside a highway. Then the very thing that kept it alive becomes the thing that exhausts it. This is why willpower feels useless against it. You're not fighting a bad habit. You're fighting 40,000 years of natural selection, weaponized and pointed at your hand. Of course you lose. Anyone would. The shame you feel about your own attention is, in a strange way, the cruelest part of the trick, because it convinces you the flaw is in you when the flaw is in the mismatch. So what do you do with this? You don't beat an instinct with guilt. You beat it with understanding. The moment you feel the pull, you can name it. That's not me failing. That's the scanner. That's the forager. That's the tribe radar, doing exactly what it evolved to do. And the instant you name it, something quietly remarkable happens. A gap opens. A small space between the urge and the hand. Your ancestors could not pause that reflex, because for them, pausing meant dying. But you can. The danger in the grass is gone. The rustle is just an app. And in that gap, for the first time, the choice becomes yours again. The people who designed these systems understood your ancient brain better than you did. That was their advantage. The instinct ran in the dark, unseen, and what runs unseen runs unopposed. But you've just turned on the light. You've seen the savanna behind the screen, the firelit clearing behind the feed, the 40,000-year-old reflex behind the simple, innocent motion of your thumb reaching down to check. Your hand is already reaching for it. But now, for the first time, you know exactly who taught it to reach. And knowing that, you might just let it rest.